Greetings and welcome back to the Empire of Ethiopia here on Wiki 3, of course. There are some concerns right now in our empire because we really risk in the future to have a revolution in our country. In the previous episode, every time I tried to pass a law that could have significantly improved our society, we always met the opposition, the very strong opposition of the landowners, and they were always threatening us to start a revolution. This makes me believe that maybe a revolution at some point is kind of unavoidable, but on the other hand, of course, I'm concerned because it's already the 3rd of November 1909, and this basically means that we have less than 30 years of game left. So I do not really want to escalate things and risk to see the game over screen shortly before the end of this run. It will be a pity now that we have basically reached end game. So I am not really sure how we should tackle the remaining part of our run. The only thing I can say is that at least I tried in the previous episode to prepare myself to, let's say, better face the landowners in the near future. What do I mean with this? First of all, if I go here to the politics and to the institution, you can notice that we do not have anymore the colonial affair. We are currently not colonizing anything and we are not planning to do it in the near future. So I decided to get rid entirely of this institution at this point, which was only affecting my bureaucracy. And instead, I managed to pass the law for another institution, which is Home Affairs. And this is also in the perspective of, let's say, contrasting the landowners. Let's say that law enforcement and Home Affairs together, they can play an interesting role to try to counter the threats of the landowners. But I really have no idea of how things will develop. So I will say that we can only remove the pause and discover this together. And unfortunately, the new episode does not start well. We have a mining accident. Okay, let's radicalize a little bit the lower strata. I don't know if here I'm doing something very stupid, probably yes, but I will go for this as a small price to pay for the March of Industry, which will radicalize 5% of the lower strata pops. So this is kind of risky, but on the other hand, it will improve the relationship with the industrialists and will also boost their political strength. So let's try to do this. O city of plenty, the most prominent members of Somaliland high society have been seen organizing luxurious parties in the new and lavish urban buildings. I want many loyalists, as many as possible, so let's go here. I don't know why Portugal is belligerent towards me. Portugal views Ethiopia as a target of conquest. What's their problem? Wants to conquer states owned by Ethiopia. Forget it. And here again we have the risk of a revolution. And I was also thinking that considering that France might try to get back the Rift Valley, and also considering that Portugal right now is belligerent towards us, I think that probably that's another reason not to go for the revolution, because once the revolution starts, other powers, foreign powers, might also start to pry into our business and join either one or another side. So that's kind of risky. Still curious to see if we can manage to pass the law. Wow, we banned slavery and we have 63%. Does it increase? No, it's decreasing, because now there is low radicalism for the slave trade. This is interesting. So it worked out. Let's wait for the revolution to be back to 0 and then we will try to pass another law. It worked, guys. For the moment it's under control. So they were just threatening, and in the end they didn't want to continue this fight. They were kind of bluffing there, you know. And now the radicals are significantly decreasing. And our economy now is skyrocketing again. Our budget is going up again significantly because, of course, now we have more people that we can tax. And also the standard of living is rapidly going up. Population also. This is great, guys. An absent mind. This is a new event, if I'm not wrong, and it's an event in Oromia. There have been reports of Gide, whatever, leader of the rural folk, not attending meetings or fulfilling his obligations. We can no longer ignore his absence. He could lose popularity and get psychological treatment. Yeah, let's go for the first option. Anyway, the rural folks are not even sitting at the government, so I couldn't care less about this dude. And we have again the whistle stop tour. Haile Vossen, who belongs to the intelligentsia, intends to travel across Somaliland to promote his party. The fate of the nation depends on that train running on time. There were again election, and the Liberal Party won again with 67% of the votes. Of course, this means that I will have the possibility to reform the government, but I have no intention of doing so. Here we have an interesting diplomatic play in Zanj. So we have basically the Omani proletarian revolt against the revolutionary Oman. So this originally was Oman, was all Oman. Then there was a revolution that basically was leading to the creation of the revolutionary Oman, and now there is a new revolution on the revolutionary Oman. What happens if we lean here? Let's check. And Portugal will go against... I don't know, I have the feeling that Portugal is looking at excuses to go at war with us. We will not give them this chance. Declare neutrality. I have nothing against Portugal right now. Landowners are no longer complaining, are no longer threatening a revolution, so we can try to pass a new law. Let's try with appointed bureaucrats. And we keep losing position in the rank, I think mainly because of the prestige. Yeah, we are doing poorly with the prestige. We are not growing as much as the other countries. And here there is persecution of fluvial Bantu people. Fluvial Bantu businesses and homes have been attacked all across Gondar by groups of Amara people. That's unacceptable. On the other hand, I do not want to decrease the authority. How many fluvial Bantu people we have in our population? I want to take a look at this. They're a very small number and they don't have political strength. So our hands are tied for reasons. And we are about to unlock the new technology, international exchange standards. This will increase our budget significantly. Yes. Well, I'm not really seeing the effects, but in theory we should have an increase of mining, but I do not really see it reflected. But okay. Let's unlock some other technology. I think we need more prestige, to be honest. We could try with camera. And what happened here in France? Occitan uprising. Oh, my friends, you did a great job. I would have loved noticing this, because that would have been the perfect chance for us to declare war on France and try to get some additional territory here in Africa. Amazing. By the way, we have a new event, meritocracy. A new guard of intelligentsia bureaucrats are outshining the landowners in every aspect of their work. Yes, finally. This is very encouraging omen for the efficacy of appointed bureaucrats, of course. 51% of chances of passing the law. I will assume that in the next round we will, in the end, manage. Unfortunately, the game crashed. I hope I will be able to launch successfully this file, because this is an Ironman run, so, and it's in the cloud, so if this is corrupted I will not be able to continue this adventure. Hopefully it's not the case. Can we please continue our adventure in Ethiopia? Okay, it seems that everything is back again. Okay, it seems that I had to repeat the previous event, and now we are again at 51% for enacting appointed bureaucrats. And now I'm increasing the relationship with the Occitan uprising because I really cannot stand France. Actually, they are a great power. They are 7 in the world. And in the meantime, our literacy went up to almost 50%. Very good. The man on the street. Disagreements between the petit bourgeoisie and the intelligentsia are causing conflicts in the government. Of course, bye-bye, petit bourgeoisie. Let's see if we can pass appointed bureaucrats. Yes. Look how our budget increased after this change. So what law we could pass now? We could try with census suffrage. Restricted child labor might be an option. Interventionism might be an option. Let's try to pass here interventionism. And we don't have a lot of time left. It's already July 1913. Wow, France has spent 176 million for this war against Austria, which is not progressing since ages. Grassroots support for law. The political wills and desires of the lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for interventionism has spread like wildfire across Ethiopia. Enactment success chance, let's do it, even if this boosts the trade unions. And we finally surpassed 50% of literacy. That's very good. By the way, there is apparently no big world war coming. I would have imagined at some point a big war between Great Britain and France, but this never really happened. We had instead this war between France and Austria, but didn't really progress. And we managed to pass interventionism. And look at this beauty. Look at this beauty, guys. We have a lot of budget now. So now you know what? Low taxes for all. Okay, now this we can keep like this. Okay, let's keep it like this. And now I want to see the standard of living skyrocketing. And look how the loyalists increased since we make massive reduction of taxes. No one is paying taxes basically in Ethiopia. As you can see, taxation level very low. But salaries are fair. They are medium. Government and military wages. The economies continue to develop. I mean, GDP is going up, literacy is going up. Standard of living, I will assume it will go up because now people will have a lot of money for all their caprices. Even if certain goods might be expensive, like luxury furniture, luxury clothes, but still, with the taxes you pay, people, you can afford everything. And we have now census suffrage. Plus 50 of authority, plus 30 political strength from literate pops votes, plus 15 of wealth threshold for voting, 20 of legitimacy, unlocks women's suffrage. Fantastic. Intelligence, of course, are super happy. This is another great development. Our society keeps improving in this final part of this run. We also have freedom, equality and brotherhood. The intelligentsia, under the leadership of Haile Vossen, has ushered in an era of liberal politics that promises a freer society where all citizens have a part in the political process. Fantastic. If I say that he's a fearless visionary, he will increase the popularity. Adds freedom of trade to the Journal of Ethiopia, freedom of votes. Other political leaders will be wise to follow this trend. And the leader of trade unions will become a radical. No. Perhaps a voice of reason is needed before this gets too radical. Ras Demisi will change the ideology to reformer. No. Vossen is a fearless visionary. And what law we will pass now? That is the question. Restricted child labor might be the time. Ah, no, my dear. This is the time to enable per capita taxation. This will really skyrocket our revenue. Let's do it. We have new form parties. What is this? Social Democratic Party with the petite bourgeoisie. I would like to kick the Social Democratic Party with the petite bourgeoisie out of the government, which will increase the legitimacy. Maybe when there will be the next election, we will take the chance. Overly enthusiastic partisans, supporters of Liberal Party have gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking opposing partisans. That's not very liberal, my friends. On the other hand, I do not want to damage them, to damage their momentum. So let's go for let the Liberal Party partisans continue unmolested, and then the armed forces will lose 1 point of interest group approval. But I think we're doing fine with them, so where are they? Here, +8, so it's okay. Central archives completed, very good. We have filing cabinets. The use of filing cabinets in the government administration has drastically increased the effectiveness of state bureaucracy. I love bureaucracy. Yes, here. Once we check if we can pass this law, 51% of chances, we can end the episode for today. Yes. Yes. We now have per capita taxation. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty. With this incredible budget and the taxes to the minimum already, we can even manage to increase government wages, military wages. In the recent episodes, we dramatically improved the society we live in. And maybe as very next law, I can already try to pass also restricted child labor, which will be great as well. But we will see how this progresses in the next episode. All I can say is that right now we have almost 30 million GDP. We are 16 in the world. We have a literacy that has reached already 52.4%. Very good. I mean, we really managed in a few years to increase dramatically our literacy, so I'm very happy. Standard of living is still increasing. We are close to 14. If we think that a country, developed country like France, has standard of living 15, we are not that far away. With only 2 decades left, I hope you will still keep tuning on this series and check with me how far our empire of Ethiopia can go. But for the moment, I will say that this is more than sufficient. So see you in the next video. Cheers, guys.